Bam, going live. Welcome to the stream tonight, everybody. Pro Se Legal School. We provide tools, you guys do the work, and y'all get to be the judge too, because, you know, the way we roll when we get done, there ain't no judges left. Oh, there ain't going to be any judges left standing the way we roll. Welcome to the show tonight, Miss Heather. Ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll. Oh, I think she's talking about me. Yeah. Well, you know, Heather, that book is just a rare fraction of what we really went through. It does give you a kind of overall idea that sets the stage for anything else that we say. People are going to know that is true. And now, the judge got disjudged a long time ago, Judge McGee, for sneaking around and having sexual relationships with people that was in his court. So that's all he said. It wasn't me, though. Okay, let me stay focused over her. Yeah, she's my girlfriend tonight, and yes, she is an amazing writer. She also is an amazing artist. She has pictures that she drew with, I know, colored chalk, with pencils, with all kinds of stuff. She's absolutely. And before all this, she repaired appliances, ran her own business. Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. She's my number one hero. I got a whole bunch of heroes in line. She'd have to be number one. Took their beat down and never kissed their butt. But what they say, especially when you look back on what you went through, and this is what I say, back on what I went through. There were times when I looked down in the sand, and the footprint was not a size 16. So I'm just going to throw that out there. We're never alone. And when you learn in sports how to be like the crazy hardhead person who likes to be up in the front, then you learn to never give up. So let's just get started with what we actually came up and heard talk about tonight. Trying to get everything lined up here. Now, the first thing that we want to cover is I'm going to put a link to the foreclosure fraud lawsuit package, and then this was the mortgage fraud package. We changed the name because they're giving me a hard time about marketing it because they associated it with financial whatever. So we changed the name to this, and we've added a couple. It's not this. We didn't add anything new. We just added updated a couple of things that I put together for my kids' divorce situation. And by the way, thank you, Heather. I totally agree with you. Both my wife and my girlfriend are amazing people. The government said I was crazy, so I got to talk in the third and fourth and fifth person sometime, just to kind of keep them off balance. Because as long as they think I'm crazy, they don't want to get up in my face. I don't know why that, yeah. Oh, as long as they think I'm crazy, they don't want to get up in my face. Now that is the link to the new named package. Yeah, and it's a little closer to what we need. We have keywords in the title, keywords in the description, keywords everywhere, so people will be able to find it a lot easier. And and Google ain't giving me a hard time about advertising it. They just want to keep giving me a hard time. I don't know. I don't. I know they don't think I'm about to go sit down. No. I know they don't think I'm about to sit down. Welcome to the show. It ain't. It ain't. It is. It should be. Welcome to the show tonight. So let's just get rolling here. Now, in this live stream, we're going to review the federal laws that prevent a federal law. Well, actually, several. We start out with one, but we got several. So this first one is particularly special, and it's a federal law to prevent corporations from violating our due process. And we're also going to talk about how to use the Administrative Procedures Act situation. What's up, Mac man? Welcome to the show. And we're going to talk a little bit about demand, how to use demand to strike, how to deploy that document, and in the mix of everything, we're going to talk about how we bring criminal liability, and then we already kind of touched on the foreclosure fraud lawsuit package. Now, I'm going to have a webinar training for the people that invested in the premium packages. So that would be the mortgage fraud package, or the prosecutor eliminator package. We're going to have a webinar. I'm not sure what day it'll be yet. I'll post it out, but it'll be for those people who are already invested in that package, coaches that are in the program that are using that package, and open up their legal, their coaching service. And so we're gonna use that time to answer questions or whatever. Because most of the time I can't answer all the questions for that package in this form, because the questions that people are asking me, they paid a lot of money for. So we don't really like to discuss all of those things. So I'm thinking about going ahead and doing that, and I'll let you guys know when we get to that part of the situation. Thank you, Daniel's delivery. Thank you. Welcome to the program. Okay, so let's just start at the top with the easiest thing here. How to use the demand to strike, how that document should be deployed. Now, the demand to strike, there are 2 or 3 versions. The version in the premium package is demanding to strike because of a lot of the things that are in the lawsuit. They're in a lawsuit document. You're demanding a strike because they're not registered with FAR, so they're in violation of federal law. You're demanding a strike because whatever. Now, the other documents have a demand to strike too, but for different reasons. Now, those documents can be beefed up real easy, and that's part of what you guys are learning here, is how to structure your own stuff, put your own things together, make these changes or whatever. So the demand to strike. Now that document should be used to crush. It's part of It's part of the punching, the several punching documents that we have, and that one's like the knockout document. Now I would use that in my head, and you can figure this out based off of your situation when I'm done explaining. In my head, if I wasn't looking at getting pushed off the eviction cliff or whatever, then I would use that document like last before I was done punching them with the other documents. Because once you punch them with the demand to strike, then it's a little hard to file anything else. You got some other punching documents in the packages, like the demand for sanctions, which is like a mini lawsuit that you file inside of their thing without paying filing fees. That might be the first one that I wish. And you can also use the federal lawsuit, the lawsuit you're going to file in federal court, the one that you're going to file in state court if you need to. You can use that, file it as a counterclaim in their state crap. Without paying filing fees. So there are two options to get in the door without paying filing fees. And actually, there's a third one too, because you guys need to get this package. But see, here's the thing. Some people mess this up because they didn't read the instructional video for the package that they invested in. The punching documents have individual instructional videos that you can go and also read to learn more about using the document. None of the documents that you get from me are documents that, now all of them should do this. One document should be the end of it. But that's not how it rolls in a fraudulent program. So I'm not telling anybody to file one document and go sit your ass down. Okay, that's crazy. That's what people do when they don't watch the instructional videos, the updated instructional videos, and they don't understand how the program works here. They file what they think is the most important thing, but they don't realize that, no offense to anybody, but most of what everybody knows about the legal system is total BS because it was taught to you by the same people that are screwing you over right now, pretty much. And they lie when their mouth's moving. So there's that. So what you need to do is get the document filed and then file the next document in the state court. You make sure that you got the state court process crushed before you move over and file your stuff in the federal court. We don't move anything. We don't remove stuff. We did all that. Those are people who watch the old videos, the real old. Now, one of the things that you need to remember too is if you invest in a premium package, you need to be watching the premium package videos. Now, the punching documents, you can watch other videos for. But the lawsuit videos for the other packages that doesn't cost as much as the premium package, they're different. They're a little bit different. And so, and the process, you have more options in the other, whatever. So the problem comes in when people watch all of those and watch all of the old stuff and start mashing everything together. No, Coach, you said, dude, that was like 9 years ago. I remember. And so I'm just saying that so that you guys can keep that straight. Now, the way we bring criminal liability to the table, and this is a little backwards from how I want to do this, but I think this is the best way so you guys understand it, is by using federal acts. By using federal acts. Like, the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946. And that's the main one we're going to talk about tonight. Well, we're going to talk about the others too, but that's the main one because that one's very powerful. But if you go to research it, you need to make sure that you punch in Administrative Procedures Act. That's too many stuff. of 1946. If you don't put of 1946, you will pull up Cornell. I had to think about it for a second. Cornell Law Library, watered down BS. A whole bunch of watered down BS that doesn't say anything about what you're about to learn right here. I'm just saying. And if you're the person that needs to find it yourself, because there's a few of those amongst us, that's fine. Number one, the coaching advice is going to say you need to get that shit filed first, get this under control, and trust me, and then go find your stuff. You said, because most people don't have the time to do that. But if you're the person that needs to find it yourself, it's going to take you a minute because it ain't on the front page. But it's there because I found it. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for supporting me here on YouTube. Yay! I just got over 9,000 something subscribers, and YouTube has sent me a key to the city. Okay, no. No, so I've been invited to join the Brandconnect program, where I'll be able to make ads for people for real on my YouTube channel that pay me instead of the ads that I've been making for my neighbors and my friends and stuff. Okay, so I couldn't have done that without everybody's support. So I want to thank you guys for that. And my ear itches. And I'm going to do something special for this, but I don't know what it is yet. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next week, what I'm going to do. Need to think about that. So the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946. Just in case anybody has trouble. Oh, that's what you need to have your best chance at finding it. Now, this is a federal law, and it was enacted in 1946. And before anybody can talk to me about a law, I need to go look up and see if it's been enacted or not, because that's the difference. And when we get done here, you understand what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, so this act was this was enacted into law in 1946 because Congress was concerned that the corporations, oh, this is so badass, would force rules and policies that were not aligned with the Constitution down our throat. Somebody over there knew what was coming. This is still a federal law, and one of the things that we use to jam their butts up with. Now, and we'll talk about how to do that a little bit down there. So the key to this act or federal law is the government's administrative policies must be in harmony with the Constitution. They must be aligned with the Constitution. Well, we all know that shit ain't. It's not the case. You know, the problem is we face corporate judges corporate judges that are acting in illegal administrative settings, and they're making us think they're judicial judges, or we just think that from all of the wonderful things that everybody learned before you got in my program. Oh, okay, but you know what? And I like to keep it simple because I played football when I was young and I boxed. Those are two things not smart people do. So I like to keep it simple. So how do you know if you're in an administrative court or a judicial court? I don't know. Sounds kind of complicated. I might need to read some law books or something. Okay, let me help you with it. Okay, sorry. So how do you know? Well, Uh, if the judge makes a ruling and doesn't provide a fact of findings and a conclusions of law, you just got hosed. See, I cleaned that up, y'all. I cleaned that shit up. You just got hosed. Without a fact of findings and a conclusions of law, there's no appeal. You have shit for an appeal. Oh, I know. The clerk will give you the paperwork and tell you all this stuff, and you can send it over there or whatever. And if you're in an eviction situation, they'll wait, and then they'll send you that shit back and tell you what, this was wrong, that was wrong. There wasn't some dots over the I's, and there was an X on the back of each page, right in the middle of the page. And so your shit got denied. But see, here's the problem. All those assholes knew already. They already got the heads up on what's going down. They're on the phone calling each other. By the time you get that shit in the snail mail, they're already coming down the street to your house. I regret a lot of people. So the fact that there's no findings, there's no fact of findings and no conclusions of law verifies right there that you're in an administrative hearing. You know? And so, if you're in a hearing and you don't know, because we don't know shit because we're stupid, just ask. Judge, my legal team wanted me to ask you, are you going to provide a fact of findings and a conclusion of law when you get done screwing me over? Sorry, I couldn't clean that up. I was on a roll. You might want to make it a little bit nicer, I guess, if you're standing in the court. If you're on a Zoom hearing, oh, dude, what are they going to do? Send the Zoom police after your ass? When you keep on talking on the Zoom hearing and the judge is getting pissed off, can you guys, I can't hear you guys. You guys looks like you're talking, blah, blah, blah. My internet service is going out. I got the cheap ass internet. I just ordered them this morning so I can have that shit when y'all ass called. Yeah. So if the judge is not going to provide what the judge needs to provide, if the judge is in a judicial court, then what kind of court are we in? I mean, I don't know. I'm just, I would just ask the judge. My legal team wanted me to ask you if you're going to provide a fact of findings and a conclusion to law when you get done with this hearing, because they don't think you are. And they already told me, I don't understand all this stuff because I'm not as smart as y'all, but they already told me that, if you don't provide a fact of findings and conclusions of law, then you're violating my due process by dragging me into your administrative and now you're going to be liable. Yep, you're going to be liable for holding to the administrative process. We've learned how to address the reason they're able to violate us in the first place. Not so much what they did. Because you can address what they did all day long because they're going to keep doing it. I'm just saying, you can address that all day, they're going to keep doing it. Now, the one thing that you need to remember, there are at least two sets of rules. Now, one set of rules calls for old case law. And this case law was from the statute at large. Now, those were the rules. The statutes at large were the laws that was woven into the Constitution, and we're not using them. Nope, we're not using them. We're using the new law, corporate law, to be clearer. It's the new revised codes and statutes and codes. You want to do statutes first and codes. That went into effect, I don't know, in 1933 or whenever. I think that's the same time they took gold and silver off the market and jammed us up with the court process, just jammed us up with the banking situation and started all of the problems that Well, most of the problem. Probably not all of them. I know they started some later. So we're using the new law, corporate law, revised statutes and codes. Now, revised statutes and codes are not valid laws because they don't have enacting clauses, they don't have titles, and they don't have bodies. Look it up. Judicial foreclosures are done with a statute. The statute is not a valid law. They take our shit, well, not ours. Some people, all day long, criminal statutes. There's no such thing. That's total BS. Criminal statutes is total BS. Mm-hmm. So when we switch from public law to public policy. Okay, that's what we switched to. Public policy. Revised statutes and codes do not have the three elements, that we just talked about. That the Constitution mandates must be present for something to be considered a valid law. Revised statutes and codes don't have the three things. So, the Administrative Procedures Act at USC 551, section something 1946, and it states in part that non-legislative rules such as guidance, guidelines, agency staff manuals, staff instructions, opinion letters, and press releases are called statements of policy or guidance. The two terms are not synonymous. Only closely correlated policy statements are almost always in documents classified as guidance, and guidance documents to the public offer including policy statements. They're all guidance. Guidance and policy statements are not legally binding on the public because they have not gone through the required procedures to become legislative regulations binding on the public. So that's interesting. Now, they are binding on the agencies. Oh, and that's all stated in the mandatory language. It's binding on agencies. They only have a hortatory effect on the public, and those affected can challenge the agency's right to enforce their policies or statements or guidance. And they have it set up where you can challenge them. You can challenge their rules, statements, through the Administrative Procedures Act judicial review of the United States. Okay. So why would I want to challenge it through their stuff? I'm just saying, they have this perfect little thing set up here where I could go and ask them for a judicial review. Well, isn't that like a damn appeal? The appeals is supposed to be like a judicial review. Oh, well, that doesn't work for me. So, what we do is we just like to add these federal acts to the front of the lawsuit at the gate to bring the criminal charges to the table. That's how you do it. You add you add your federal acts, which are your federal lawsuits, in front of at the gate, and now they have a bigger problem. We start out with the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, and we also use the Civil Rights Act of 1871. Now, why do we use the Civil Rights Act of 1871? Now, that was put on the books for people who've been arrested or detained unlawfully, whatever, to use to sue the government players. And and so I did some research on it because I never heard of her. But I said, yeah. And so as it turns out, Civil Rights Act of 1871 was structured to block them from arresting you. Made it a criminal offense for someone to arrest you. Now, what the hell does that have to do with anything? 42 USC 1983 was taken from the Civil Rights Act of 1871. They watered it down. They set it up so that you can still go after them and regress yourself, but they down checked it so you're not bringing criminal liability to the table when you go after them for that. Oh, somebody done some homework up in here. Yeah, so we use it both. Even if you weren't arrested, we use it because it's the start of the other. And they can argue it if if they want to try. Now, the next one we do is the Tucker's Act. The Tucker's Act is also a federal law. We include that in our premium packages. The Tucker's Act is a federal law. And this federal law makes it a federal crime to violate someone's due process or Fifth Amendment. It also strips the players of their alleged immunity. So judges, and none of them have a qualified immunity. To have qualified immunity, you have to qualify for that shit. I mean, I don't know, look it up. Okay, and to qualify for it, you have qualified immunity for doing judicial functions. Oh, but asses are not in a judicial court. We're in an administrative court. I had a lot of time to sit around and think about this, but I was hauling my ass to jail a bunch of times. So we bring the Tucker's Act. Now, here's the thing about the Tucker's Act. The Tucker's Act also forces them to consider the fact that the Tucker's Act allows the other court, the real court with judicial power, the International Court of Trade. They call it a couple of different names to try and change it so that we can't have access to it. So this act references that court, that you need to be, your stuff is to be filed in that court. They don't want people to know about this stuff. And you know what? I called the International Court of Claims and I talked to that dude on the phone for 37 minutes. I read all of their stuff and I wanted to file my so when I got done with this bullshit, what I decided was that, you know what? I should be able to access that court in any federal court building. They ain't playing that crap on me. So we add that in. And ain't nobody over here trying to argue that. I'm saying now the Foreign Agent Registration Act is another one that's a federal law. All of these are federal laws. Foreign Agent Registration Act requires foreign agents to register with the government and to disclose all their financial information, who they're working for, all of that stuff. But none of them do it because they're not going to make each other do it. And so if somebody brings that up and is actually suing them for not doing it's a problem. It's a problem if you're suing the judge for this stuff. Because in addition to, like in Tammy's case, to $100 million, it's a problem because they're in violation of all of these federal laws. And then when you drag their happy ass down to state court or the other way around, then they don't have their friends to help them. And then it becomes a situation. It becomes a situation where they're holding their breath, trying to figure out how to get help to take care of Tammy's problem. But they're having some trouble with that. And, the problem is, that as soon as they dismiss Tammy's stuff, I'm pretty sure they're not going to use the fact of findings and the conclusions of law. And, you know, Tammy's legal team could have the documents already ready for them when and no, I don't do this for everybody. Okay, Tammy is one badass. I'm just going to go out on a limb there. She's one badass. She forced them to award her judgment with an attorney in her way the whole way, and then in the end of the road, the judge gave the rest of her money to the high-ass price attorney. I just probably should end it there. Attorney. Instead of giving her money, he gave the rest of the money, so she got nothing. Well, she's getting something now, and I'm thinking she's having a little more fun. You know, because Judge Annie T. Kristoff tried to help her, tried to help the other judge and attorney that she was suing, but Judge Kristoff didn't get the consent form signed, and Judge Kristoff didn't know about the Administrative Procedures Act or Civil Rights Act of 1871, or the Tucker's Act, or the Foreign Agent Restoration, or Coach Neighbor's ass. Oh, so things are a little bit different now for her, and what we learned is that there's a period of time that they have to get your stuff through. And I haven't actually figured out exactly what it is. I'm thinking it's the calendar year. Because they're like 9, 8 months, I don't know. Tammy says, yeah, she's having fun. They're like, 9 months, 8 months, I don't know, down the road, and some people say, why don't you default them? Well, you know what? The judge is supposed to handle that shit when they realize they're in default. I shouldn't have to move for default and move for a summary judgment. The judge should default their ass. Well, in administrative, they do something different. Oh, because they all trying to get paid. And, So Tammy says she's having fun, and I'm having a lot of fun too. They see the videos. We posted several videos about Judge Annie T. Kristoff, and I've got a guy working on SEO on my YouTube channel, and so my videos showed up right underneath the state of Tennessee's federal website showing Judge Annie T. Kristoff picture. Right underneath that was Tammy's video. And the reading that you can see when you're looking at it said, Judge Annie T. Kristoff is being sued for helping fellow bar members. Oh, nice and simple. We keep it nice and simple. When you do that, there's no arguing when it's nice and simple. So now Tammy has the magistrate judge on the hook for $100 million instead of the $987,000.87 or whatever the hell it was. And boy, they've been trying to figure out a way to get a handle. They even called me from down there one day, and I have my son's computer genius, so I have software. I know where all the calls come from. It don't matter if you're hiding or whatever. But anyway, and they wanted to know if I could help them because they needed another set of eyes. Oh, and I don't know. That's not what I do. You're welcome, Daniel's Delivery. You need to get over to the website and get what you need to see. Now, this is why I don't need people calling me. Oh, I need you to hear my story. Oh, I don't need to hear your story. I'm trying to take your property or trying to send you to jail. That's it. Now, after that, you just need to get over there and get what the hell you can afford. That's how this works best. I can't really help you until you get yourself to the gate. And you do that by getting your package and going to YouTube, watching instructional videos, learn all that stuff. hmm There's my girlfriend taking over the show. Yeah, thank you, Heather, and the rest of you guys. You should go get that book and check it out. It's most people have no idea what the government's able to put you through. And some people tell me, "Hey, I can't believe you're, go through. You know what? You guys, what you're going through is tough. I'm not saying it's not. I went through that while I was locked up. When I got out, I was still trying to fight. Yeah, yeah. But there's some other stuff that's tougher, and that's for damn sure. So but see, here's the thing. There's always a thing. The fear is what gives them the power. The fear is what gives them the power. Because when you have fear, you do what they say. Yep. Sign this. Sign this. Take your clothes off, put them in this bag. Put this, Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's my government ID. I keep it right here every stinking day to remind me what happened when you trust when you trust players that are getting paid by them. So, and yeah, I got the book right here too. It's underneath some papers on my desk. But I got it right there. Shattered by corruption. Oh no, though. Do I look shattered? Okay, yeah. Well, I think that would definitely apply when I was looking down in the sand and seeing that footprint was not a size 16. So okay, so you guys, thank you for the value sharing your time, and now you guys understand a little more about how this program works. I posted a video today. The mortgage fraud package has been switched over to foreclosure fraud package for marketing purposes and stuff. So and we're also going to start numbering the videos differently. So the instructional videos will have 1, 2, and 3 right there in the title. So it'll be easier to see instead of trying to check the date, because sometimes I repost stuff, and so that checking the date doesn't work out too well. And some other things we're working on getting getting changed. Now, keep in mind, my goal is not to make it easy for y'all asses. So, because I ain't trying to make it easy for you, but I do like it to be effective. Okay, it's to be effective. That's what I like to do. So, you are welcome, and this is my therapy for for what they put me through. Yep, started out to get my wife out, then started out to make sure they didn't take her back or me after she got out, or mess with her, or get in her face and say shit to her about any damn thing. And I might have got a little out of control helping everybody else, okay? But I love my job, so. And if anybody is in my program that start dragging their feet, they know that I'm serious. So I'll be telling you, get your ass. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you check out the video that I posted today. It outlines how to use the new foreclosure package that we got on the website. Organized and effective. Thank you. I like that.